bet you didn't know that you could make $200,000 a year just by setting up sales meetings. You don't need any fancy qualifications or degree, you don't have to set up your own business, and you don't need to do any cold calls. In this video, I'm going to show you how I've built a six-figure income by doing nothing other than connecting high-ticket companies with clients who need their services. So if you're ready to learn a simple, scalable system that works from absolutely anywhere in the world, then stick around, because at the end of this video, you'll know how to do it too. For the past few years, I've been traveling around the world, living off the money that I make from my laptop. I didn't build an e-commerce company or an Amazon FBA. I don't really sell any digital products, or at least I haven't over the last few years. I don't have a software company. I'm not doing drop shipping. I definitely don't have an OnlyFans, and I'm not a YouTube star. So how is it that I've been able to fund my travels over the last few years? Well, it all comes down to selling high-ticket products and services. Now, the thing is, what most people think selling a high-ticket product or service means is that they have to create their own high-ticket product or service, which couldn't be further from the truth. In reality, one of the best ways for you to start making a six-figure income is simply by selling someone else's products and services. You would have already seen this in the business-to-consumer space, where people become affiliate marketers and they sell products on TikTok Shop or on Instagram on behalf of someone else. And those products are typically low ticket, but in large volume, they're able to make a decent chunk of money. Now, the problem with doing that is that if you don't already have a very large following, it's very difficult to grow your following. Now, just look at the algorithms on Instagram, on TikTok, on YouTube. It's more difficult than it ever has been in the past to grow your brand. So if you're thinking about doing affiliate marketing, that idea is out the window if you don't have a brand already. But that same concept can actually be applied to a completely different type of industry. An industry where if you manage to help someone sell one of their products and services, you stand to make 5 or even 6 figures just for yourself. If you don't believe me, just go onto Google and type in how much money is in the technology industry, or in the software space, or in the financial space. These are all very high-ticket industries, many of them containing companies that sell to other businesses, or they sell a high-ticket product or service to the consumer. The same can also apply to the high-ticket info product space. So if you can find companies within certain industry verticals that sell high-ticket products and services, you stand to make a lot of money simply by helping them sell those products and services and connecting them with the people who have the money to buy from them. And this is exactly what I've been doing over the last few years. I've been selling my own high-ticket products and services through a marketing agency that I built, and then I've been helping my clients do that very same thing for themselves. And I've been connecting them with other individuals who could buy their products and services. And this is a very common thing that happens just naturally all around the world. Many businesses often have, friends or colleagues who refer new business to them. Most of the people that I speak to who have a business, when I ask them how they managed to grow it, it's typically based on referrals. A lot of these boomers have built companies purely based on word of mouth. And that is where the opportunity lies. Because a lot of these companies have now realized that although they've been able to build their business on word of mouth alone, at some point, those referrals dry up. And so what you want to be able to do is introduce yourself to one of these business owners or to the management team within one of these organizations and be able to sell the idea that you could partner with them to sell their products and services. And that is really all that this comes down to. They don't need to pay you anything to begin with, so they're almost always going to say yes. And if you bring them deals, they're going to pay you a percentage of that sell price. So the way that I got into this was by picking an industry. So if you want to earn $200,000 a year simply by connecting high-ticket companies with clients who need their products and services, you have to specialize in an industry vertical or a niche. I chose the cybersecurity and technology space, which quite easily translated into software. And now based on the products and services I sell, we can sell to pretty much any niche. But you need to be able to start with one and specialize in one vertical and become known in that vertical to an extent where you can at least partner with these companies and then be able to identify decision makers who can pay them for their products and services. You become in this way a connector or a middleman, and you're simply connecting two people together to make a sale. You don't have to do any sales yourself. You don't have to do any cold calls. You don't have to create any content if you don't want to, and you get to be your own boss because you can work for yourself, or you can build an entire business around this because there is such high demand from businesses, from organizations, from companies who need this skill set. They can train sales reps, business development managers, but at the end of the day, they're not going to have as much drive as someone such as yourself who can come in and just connect the right people to them in order to make money. Someone that is a sales rep or a business development manager, they just get a base salary. They're typically going to get a little bit of commissions on the side, but they can only work with one company, their employer. If you do this correctly, you can work with 5, 10, 15, even 20 different companies, and you can connect people to those companies, and you can win deal after deal after deal for them, and you get to profit in all the money that they make. The key here is to make sure that you're picking companies and industries that sell high-ticket products and services. In my case, I went for the cybersecurity space, the technology space, IT services, because I know that they can sell something for $5,000, $6,000, $10,000 a month on a recurring contract, and typically that contract is for 3 years. So if I'm able to help them win deals, the amount of value that they see in me is so massive, it's an absolute no-brainer for them to say yes. And as soon as I connect them with those deals, I'm able to make money out of it. I've taken the same approach and just implemented it into my own business, and that's how I've been able to land deals, travel the world for the last few years, and ultimately live a life of freedom that most people only dream of. The way in which I do this is through an ABM method, or an account-based marketing method. This is where you build out lead lists based on the accounts that you want to work with. So I would approach this in exactly the same way if you want to partner with companies. Pick an industry vertical and then contact the decision makers within that vertical and negotiate what that commission structure would be if you bring them those deals. Some companies will simply pay you on referrals, and that's also fine. That's something that you can figure out yourself if that's what you want to do or not. But other companies will pay you a percentage of the deal size. So what you want to do is come up with a list of those partners that you can work with, understand their products, understand their services, go through all of their marketing material, truly understand the problems and the pains that those products and services solve. And then you want to go out there into the market and find other companies or other decision makers or potential customers who can use those products and services, who are experiencing a very big problem, which you can solve with those products and services. And you simply want to get them to book meetings in the calendars of the decision makers of your partner companies. Now, the ABM method is something that is followed through most technology organizations, software companies, etc. So this is quite a well-known thing in that space, but in other industries, not so much. So you can take that same approach, implement it into other industries, and you'll absolutely kill it, because most of these software companies are worth billions of dollars, and that is the approach that they take. So if you can take that approach, implement it into another industry vertical, you're going to make so much money, it's going to make your head spin. Now, the thing is, a lot of these companies, they don't have the right sales process in place, so you might have to help them with that. I've been using video content over the last few years to be able to land those meetings through a proven sales process that's basically automated, so I don't have to hold someone's hand from point A to point Z. I've automated that process, so that means that I can continue hunting for new potential leads, new potential customers, whilst in the background, people are being sold to without my input. And the way that I do that is through videos, because it's the highest leverage activity. It's all about driving traffic to those videos, which sells people on the product or service. Now, if these companies that you partner with don't have those videos, you can sell a service on top where you can make those videos for them, but that is an option. What I would recommend that you do is you pick companies that already have some kind of sales process in place. They're already making money. They've already got a system, a structure, and they're just looking to win those big 6- and 7-figure contracts. Now, like I said at the beginning of this video, you don't need any qualifications for this to work. You can work from home. So if you've got kids or anything like that and you just want to stay at home working, that's also fine, because you can do this from your laptop or from your phone. You only need to have a certain level of social skills, which is the ability to connect with someone, to have a conversation, and to figure out if they have a pain point, which you can connect them to one of those partner companies that you're working with. This is not a job. You're not employed by any of these companies. It's kind of like being an affiliate, but for a high-ticket product or service, and you actually have to go out there and make the partnership happen. You can't just do it randomly. You've got to make those deals happen, and then once you get sign-off approval, you can then connect the dots of people, start landing the meetings. I'll give you a quick example. With my company, Video CEOs, we have a product that if someone buys 100 of our products, there's no extra fulfillment than if someone buys 1,000. So the more of this product they buy, the larger the deal size. And I have absolutely no problem paying someone a percentage of that deal value if they bring me the deal. And I'd be more than happy to have a whole army of people out there in the world messaging people, bringing me those deals so that I can pay them a percentage of that deal size. There's absolutely no reason why I wouldn't do that. It's a massive amount of benefit. I'm ultimately profiting from it. And the army of people that are bringing me those deals get to make money out of it. So it's a win-win-win. And what's more is that once I learned how to do this, I realized that I was investing a lot of time into this process. Although I could work with 5, 10, 15 different companies, the more companies you work with, the harder it becomes in terms of your time, because your time is limited. So you can only invest a certain amount of time into messaging people, emailing people, trying to connect people with deals. But we're lucky to live in a time where there's heaps of software, heaps of automation, and heaps of AI. So this career path is so scalable. You can actually double that these days just by using software, automation, and AI. Absolutely anyone can do this. You don't have to make content all day long. You don't have to be in an office. You don't have to hate your life and hate your job. You get to work for yourself. If you become really good at it, you can work with much bigger companies with much bigger deal sizes. You can bring on more partnerships, and you can even make an entire business out of this if you wanted to, because once you're working with these companies, you'll realize that there's other problems you can solve, which you can build an entire offer around, an entire business, and you can start selling that product or that service to the companies that you're partnering with. And that is exactly what I've done for myself at Video CEO. So I know if I can do it, you can too. I don't have any fancy qualifications. I finished high school, I went to university, I've had a normal career path, and I've struggled to build a business over the last few years, just like the majority of people out there. But I know if I can do it, you can too. And in fact, because I've already done it, I've created a free training which you can access by clicking the link just below this video, which shows the exact steps that I take to land 6- and 7-figure deals for my company. This is going to allow you to skip all of the difficult parts that I had to go through. It's going to allow you to solve all of the problems without having to go through any of the pain. And what's more is that you can just comment below this video if you need any help with anything. So it's a win-win for you as well. I'm going to show you step by step how I land sales meetings with decision makers in companies that make $500 million plus a year. I'm going to show you the ABM method and walk you through how that works. And I'm also going to explain how I use videos throughout my sales process. I don't mean that you have to become a content creator, because I am not. I don't create heaps of videos on Instagram and Facebook and YouTube. I create very specific videos and I drive traffic to it. All of this will be revealed in the free course, which you can get by clicking the link below this video. If you've got any questions, let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next one.